Have you ever had that feeling where you know a ton of English, but the second you try to speak, the words just disappear? Well, today we are going to fix that. We're going to close that gap between textbook English and real world English for good. Let's get into it. Does this feel a little too real? You spent hours memorizing grammar rules, you know all the verb tenses, but then just ordering a simple coffee feels like this massive, impossible task. You are not alone. This is a super common feeling, and we are going to figure out how to get past it together. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the communication gap. Then, we'll zero in on something called functional English. After that, we're building an everyday phrasebook. I'll show you how to practice smart, and we'll wrap it all up with a new mindset: connection, not perfection. So, what is this gap anyway? Why does the English you learn in a book feel so different from the English you need on the street? Well, it all comes down to the goal. See, in a classroom, you're usually aiming for accuracy, for getting everything perfect. But out in the real world, the goal is way simpler. It's just about getting your message across. And that brings us to the big idea for today: functional English. Now, don't worry, this isn't some new language you have to learn. It's more like a new way of thinking. It's all about picking the right tools, the right words, for a specific job, instead of trying to carry your entire grammar toolbox with you everywhere you go. So what is it really? Think of it this way. Functional English is English with a purpose. It's the language you use to accomplish something specific, like ordering food, asking for directions, or just making a little small talk. It's English that gets stuff done. And this little chart really breaks it down, doesn't it? Academic English, on the left, is all about perfection. It teaches you to say something like, "Pardon me, might you be so kind as to apprise me of the current chronological coordinates?" I mean, who talks like that? Functional English is all about connection. You just say, "Excuse me, what time is it?" The goal isn't to be flawless, it's to be understood. Okay, so we know the what and the why. Now let's get to the fun part: building your actual toolkit. We're going to load you up with a few key phrases for the situations you'll run into pretty much every day. Every single conversation has to start somewhere, right? And you really don't need anything fancy. A simple, friendly, "Hi, how's it going?" works almost every single time. It's warm, it's easy, and it instantly opens the door to a conversation. And what about that dreaded small talk? Honestly, just talk about the weather. It's the perfect topic because it's universal and totally safe. An exchange just like this one is a fantastic zero-pressure way to start a friendly chat with anyone. Now, when you're out shopping or trying to order something, this phrase is your secret weapon. "I'd like this one, please." Why is it so great? Because you can just point. Point at something on the menu. Point at a shirt on a rack. It's direct, it's polite, and everybody everywhere will understand you. Remember that coffee shop problem from the beginning? Let's solve it right here, right now. The formula is so simple. I'll have a please. That's it. I'll have a cappuccino, please. I'll have the sandwich, please. It's clear, it's confident, and it works every time. And listen, never ever underestimate the power of being polite. Seriously, the words please, thank you, and excuse me are like magic keys. They make people want to help you, and they can smooth over any little grammar mistakes you might make. They're your superpower. Think of these as your conversational Swiss Army knife. They're phrases that work in all kinds of situations. You've got "How much is this?" for shopping. "Where can I find?" for when you're lost. And that last one, "Could you say that more slowly, please?" That one is your best friend. It doesn't make you look bad. It shows you're really trying to understand, and people appreciate that. So now you've got the phrases, but just knowing them isn't the same as using them confidently, is it? So how do we get from knowing to doing? Well, the key is practice, but you have to practice smart. Here are 4 really powerful ways to do that. 1. Role play. Just practice the conversations out loud at home. 2. Use real stuff, like travel vlogs or podcasts, to hear how people actually talk. 3. When you're listening, don't try to understand every word. Just listen for the keywords. And 4, this one is huge. Memorize the full phrases. Learning "where can I find" as one single chunk is way faster and easier than trying to build the sentence word by word. Okay, we have the tools, we have the practice techniques, but the last piece of the puzzle is honestly the most important one. It's all about changing your goal. Just this one little shift in your mindset can unlock all the confidence you've been looking for. Let this quote really sink in. Fluency isn't about perfect grammar, it's about the flow of conversation. Trust me on this, people are so much more interested in what you have to say than they are in finding tiny mistakes in your grammar.
They just want to connect with you.
So let this be your new mantra. From now on, your goal is connection, not perfection. After a conversation, don't ask yourself, was my grammar perfect? Instead, ask, did we understand each other? Did we connect? Making that your new way of measuring success will completely change the game for you. And that pretty much brings us to the end. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What's it going to be? What's the first real-world conversation you're going to have with these new tools? Are you going to go order that coffee? Ask for directions? Or maybe just tell a stranger, nice day, isn't it? Whatever you choose, you're ready. You've got this. Now go out there and connect.